So as you were talking, I was trying to, I guess, kind of set criteria for this part, so that way we're limited as to kind of what we say, or well, I don't know. So the second part, what we're going to kind of delve into are our most replayed game, and basically what this section is a single game that we have played more than twice. Now, the reason why I was having an issue with this was because when I say play, do I mean like, for instance, a single experience like Dead Space? You play it, you can there's a beginning, there's an end, and it's over. Or is it like Phasmophobia, where the point of the game is to just go in, do what you want to do, and then get out? So I'm not going to put any restrictions to it, but I think for the competency, or just kind of keep it simple. If it's a single player experience, that's fine. If it's a kind of a the match type of nuance, that's fine too. Whatever.
Yeah.
And I was kind of trying to think of what game I'd want to say, because I have a few. There are quite a few that I've played a few times over. Like BioShock is definitely one of them. Dead Space is another.
That you've played more than twice?
Yeah,
okay.
like, but I'm going to go with, I think, one game that you guys probably haven't played, and that's Silent Hill Origins.
The fourth one?
That one was...
No, wait a minute. No. The fourth one is that door one. You're talking the fifth one, Origins.
Yeah. Because this one came out on PSP, or was on PSP, and that's what I played it a lot on. And a lot of people will say this was probably like the last competent game, because after this one, if I'm not mistaken, was Shattered Memories, and that was the Silent Hill game where you couldn't fight back, where it was like you literally just all you could do was run.
Didn't you like that game on the PSP though?
What?
Shattered Memories? Yeah.
It was okay. It was okay. It was good for one playthrough, if that makes sense.
I remember you playing that game like a lot though.
Well, it's a long game.
That game back then.
It was a long game. Like, it wasn't...
I mean, I feel that.
Like, the whole idea was, again, you end up in a town and you're trying to figure out a mystery, but it was trying to relate it to the first game. Like, kind of give backstory to the first game, if I am remembering correctly. So that's why it was more it was more narrative driven.
Yeah.
So Silent Hill Origins I don't know why my throat is, but okay. So Silent Hill Origins, it is a 7.4 out of 10 on IMDb. I don't know why it has a rating on IMDb, and 78% on Metacritic. The reason why I replayed it was because it was a lot of people will say it was one of the final good Silent Hill games, and it just kind of went off the rails after that. But long story short, it is this guy, truck driver.
Yeah.
He's connected to Silent Hill, of course. And he gets there, and the whole thing with Silent Hill is that people who go there are basically battling like their own kind of problems, but those problems manifest themselves in a physical way, and a dangerous way too. And this character is no different. But the reason why I liked it was because the characters were good, the story was good, combat was great. You could literally fight someone with a television. The greatest thing ever. I'm not joking.
What the fuck?
You could literally pick up a television and just start beating someone over the head with it. and it's a game that takes itself. This is one thing because
Takes
I
itself seriously.
it takes itself seriously, but there are also those moments of like in
Really?
Silent Hill 3, like there are moments where it's like, okay, you're literally going through trauma, and then it's like, but then aliens come down and they're dogs. Like
What?
that is an alternate ending. Like that is
I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear any of that.
that's just an example, but that
I
is
got,
kind of
I got the collection, dude. Like, come on.
that is that is the line of thinking, is that
Okay.
it is a serious game, but they also kind of throw those little things in there that's like, okay, it makes it unique in its own self.
Oh, it
And
makes it quirky, man.
sure, but yeah, I've replayed that game maybe 5 or 6 times, if I'm gonna be honest. Um, and the reason why, again, because it was on PSP, it was up there with Peace Walker, Naruto
most
Impact,
replayed?
yeah,
Most replayed? Oh wow.
on PSP.
Yeah.
Naruto Impact. Um, there was another Naruto game. I think it was Naruto Akatsuki or something.
Yeah, something like that.
I just remember Impact was so cool because it was like the first kind of like Naruto like beat 'em up.
Yeah.
Like that actually made me feel like, okay, I'm playing a Naruto game and not just another fighting game. I feel like it was another game I used to play on there a lot. But yeah, long story short, that is the game I feel like I put the most in, because another aspect of it is the puzzles. Like I don't
Shattered
think
Memories, you're saying.
no for Silent Hill Origins.
Yeah, Silent Hill Origins. Yeah, sorry.
I mean, Shattered Memory had the same thing, and I'm gonna be honest with the ones that kind of came out after that. I think I played one of them and I was just like, this is the dumbest thing ever. Like I just
Downpour?
stopped playing. Yeah,
You thought that shit was ass?
yes, it was. It
Wow.
still is.
It looked like it was a game that was more than likely just gonna be very mediocre.
It
And I
w-
think Silent Hill fans are so starved of good content. It never looked like a good game to me.
It never was.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing.
Silent Hill has it bad, man.
It
On the
started
real.
off great, like banger after banger, but then it
Dude,
was like,
like 3 to 4 games in succession of just bangers.
yeah, and that's hard to
Resident
do.
Evil level of bangers.
Like that's hard to do, especially nowadays. Like
Yeah.
having games that are in succession that are good. That's like the Jack and Daxter curse. Like Jack and Daxter was great. Jack 2 was good. They just
Then
took
Jack
like
3 though.
they just took that edgy turn, and I was like, oh, okay.
I heard Jack 3 was like, yo, best one.
Jack 3 was a return to form, and it introduced a lot of new mechanics, but one of those new mechanics was the downfall of the series
Oh.
because they introduced vehicles. And
Oh, they made the racing game though. That's how
yeah,
they followed up on that.
yeah, and that racing game was terrible. It was
I don't know.
boring.
I don't even know how they could have fucked that up. They made fucking Crash Team Racing, probably the best racing game of all time.
Well, here's the thing. I'm going to be honest with you. Not every game needs a racing counterpart.
That is true.
Like,
Even Toy Story had one.
yeah, I remember that. But Crash was more of a,
Side scroller. Well, it was a 3D platform.
yeah, it was a 3D platform. I feel like it worked better with that. Jack and Daxter was kind of more of the adventure, discovery type of deal. Like it was never meant to be that. Just like with Ratchet and Clank with Deadlocked, where it was like just an arena fighter. And it was like, but why? Like,
Yeah.
you guys didn't have to do this. That's almost like if Sly Cooper came out with a racing game. And you're like, what? like, like, you get what
I mean, I wouldn't mind that if it was like, dude. Imagine this. The ultimate racing game, and I haven't even really played these series. Jack and Daxter, Sly Cooper, Ratchet and Clank racing crossover game. Make it happen. Make it happen. It'd be like a
Wait.
Mario Kart killer right there. Easy,
Wait,
man.
Mammoth.
Darn. Have we lost him?
Yo, Mammoth.
He might have. Wait a minute. He might have stepped away.
Okay.
He might have stepped away.
Because I was gonna say they had a PlayStation All Stars game.
They did. I never played it, unfortunately.
It was cool, I guess.
I heard it was actually a good game. It's just strange because
It just came out
Sony.
of nowhere. Yeah, it just
came out of nowhere. They should redo that. Make another one, man. Make another one. Man. I'd like to see that because I like that kind of gameplay, man. Like, yeah, I don't. It like. I feel like the Smash clones do better than Smash. Honestly,
I mean, it's,
a lot of times.
It's sad to say, but yes.
But I'm not. That's not.
I was about to say, except for Multiversus.
Well, to be fair, Multiversus is dropping. It's just that was early. That was a beta the whole time. It was always meant to release like for real.
Mammoth,
It's
do
coming.
you remember PlayStation All Stars?
Yes, vaguely.
Can you imagine if they just came out of left field and was like the next Sly Cooper game is a racing game?
Sly Cooper Soccer. Did they do to Sly what they did to Mario in the 2000s?
No.
So you know what? We're just gonna capitalize on the Wii and we can play every sport.
Bruh.
No.
You know, get your exercise today.
Ugh. That would be the most god awful decision they could ever make.
If it was just like Cooper, like they made 3 games. I mean, it could work. Crash had 3 games and they made it work.
They have 4 games.
No, but like Crash Team Racing dropped like before Crash Bash. If I remember correctly, Crash Bash dropped after, I think. But even then, like Crash Bash was Mario Party for Crash, and it was good apparently.
Which I still don't understand why are these what I mean, I get it, but why?
Cuz they're fun. Mario Party's fun. It's still fun. That's the thing, like lots of people like we can hate on Nintendo all we want and we're justified for it, but their games are still amazing.
True.
Like I can't over here like flat out say like, yo man, Nintendo sucks ass. Like, yeah, they do suck ass.
They just make the games very questionable decisions.
Yeah, like and their Pokemon output is stupid. But like I don't even like the Pokemon games, but I'm just speaking for fans. Like I know it's stupid. I know what they're doing. It's retarded. But the games that they do put out, even if they should be putting out different kinds, because they rely too much on their old IPs.
Yeah, they don't
like.
They're not very. They don't explore very far.
I hate that shit. But I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about that honestly because it'll go into a tangent.
That'll be our next episode. How much does Nintendo suck?
Oh man, that needs to happen. Like fucking Tears of the Kingdom. Come on, man. Easy. I've seen that game. Like, dude, that's easy. 10 out of 10. I know. Fucking what the last one? What the fuck was it called? Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, I heard that was really good.
Yeah, I've already heard. Like, all I hear is good shit.
Well, that's the thing.
Donkey Kong Country. Dude, I am so glad they brought that shit back. You have no idea how glad I was.
How many years has it been?
Dude, well, they brought it back on the Wii U, I think, with Donkey Kong Country Returns.
Who played the Wii U?
Me, because I game, nigga.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Not a lot, bro. It was disappointing, and it was a failure.
Like, I only remember, like, I never played the Wii. I only remember, like, just kind of...
Wii was good.
Like, I just remember using it, like, just kind of passively.
Me
but
too.
There was no reason for me to be like, oh, I want one of those. Like, when the aspect is, oh, it's something to get you moving while you play games. I'm like, the gym, what? Like, The gym exists. You can literally
Hey
walk
man, that shit's
outside.
still revolutionary though. That
You
shit was
can
awesome.
go to your local bowling alley. It is a lot more immersive and
That's true.
way more realistic than just kind of taking a few steps and swinging your arm. Like what?
It that's true, but it was kind of like another small piece of the precursors to VR. So
I mean, I guess, but how many
PlayStation
VR
Move,
games?
PlayStation Move,
Don't even get me started with that.
Xbox Connect, motherfucker.
Oh my god.
I just threw up in my mouth a little bit.
Xbox Connect. I can't believe that shit sounds like fucking old ass make believe lore.
It sounds like one of those things you would like the title of a fanfic.
I mean, dude, Xbox Connect had a Dragon Ball Z game, bro.
Yes, I remember.
It was. I could not believe they dropped that. An exclusive Xbox game. Oh, but wait a minute, dog. Wait a minute.
Could
Best
you imagine?
part, it's Connect. And like, why?
Could you imagine a Dragon Ball Z game where it's like you're just strapped up in his VR and you're like punching as fast as you can?
I mean, we already kind of have that. You know what it was? Budokai Tenkaichi 2 and 3 on the Wii.
I'm sorry, that would look so retarded.
That was still cool though. Like we had some good games. Like they had some good ports. They had some good originals. They had a bunch of good shit. The motion tech was still fucking awesome. Super Smash Bros. Brawl, so that came back. Like so much good. There was plenty of good shit on there.
Bruh.
But the Wii U, man, like that was great tech too. The tablet controller was awesome. It was a console DS. Amazing
Bruh.
shit. I mean, the Switch is now too.
I mean, yeah.
But the amazing shit. They had some bangers on there. They had fucking Bayonetta 2 and Bayonetta 2. So, yeah.
I mean, whatever floats your boat.
I don't remember what Mario games they had on there. Oh, and they had Donkey Kong Country Returns. But they didn't have a lot. That's the thing. That's the problem with that one. They didn't have too much, and some of them were just ports or whatever. And the backwards compatibility was the best thing about it. But if like you weren't gonna play any Wii U games, I'm pretty sure a Nintendo fan would.
Yeah.
Why? If you were just gonna play Wii games, just stick with the Wii. But whatever.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was that big of an upgrade. I don't think the upgrade kind of sucked, and don't get me started on the Switch,
Bruh.
But
listen.
Yeah.
Anywho.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Jack and Daxter. Y'all were talking Jack and Daxter. Like, yeah, that shit was cool.
Mammoth.
Yes.
What is your most or one of your most replayed games?
Oh no. Pokemon.
Oh no.
It's Pokemon Emerald.
Oh.
Really? You still play that?
Whenever I get to play Pokemon, I play Emerald.
I'm not gonna lie, I do as well. That was probably one of my favorite of the Pokemon series.
And I was thinking, I'm like, I really like, compared to some of the other Pokemon games from that time, it's really easy to breeze through the early story and just get to a point where you're like at like the hub city and you can kind of do whatever you want to do instead of like, oh, let me just traverse through these 3 different caves before I get to the next town. It's like, nah, you're only gonna spend like a minute or two in there. You're in and out. You're moving on to the next city.
That is true.
Are the stories even good?
They're simple.
They don't need to be good, but
I was gonna say, do you really play Pokemon for the story, or do you play it for
the... I mean, on the games, like, think about it this way: Pokemon is first and foremost a video game. It's not the show.
Yeah,
the video games came first. So I would expect a little more from the video game. However, that doesn't mean I expect Metal Gear Solid here. Like, I know what it is. It doesn't need to be that good. Like, it can be simple, and that's fine. But like, simple doesn't necessarily mean good. So I was just asking because it's Pokemon.
I mean, it's all right.
Yeah. What do you expect?
I will say, I don't know if it was exclusive to Emerald or all the Hoenn games, but they had stuff like they added in the versus seeker, where after you beat somebody, they could like call
Oh
you up and be like,
yeah.
"Hey, let's get a rematch." And so you would have these like growing relationships with different NPCs where it's like, "Hey, I got stronger, want to see?" And like every
Mhm.
so often, they would call you up and be like, "Hey, I'm 10 levels higher. I'm a couple levels higher." The um the gym leaders have this too, where there's like the rematch mechanic, where after you beat the game, you can go back and face all the gym leaders again and again. But they have like a second set of Pokemon where they're like higher level, fully evolved, all the moves. Well, not all the moves, but they have like higher tier moves. So they're not
Stop.
walking up going like tail whip. They're like,
Stop
no, I'm
making me
gonna.
want to play this shit, dude. I hate this. I hate
It
this shit. Stop making me want to play it. Damn it!
it
Like, come on.
I
The
think it
fully fleshed out battle frontier where you can
oh yeah.
straight up dedicate time climbing the ranks of different championships. I never completed the entire frontier. First of all, I think I got like 3. What were they? They weren't badges, but they were like 3 like championship crests or something. Like, oh, you beat
Yeah.
the battle pyramid, you beat the battle tower, you beat the battle dome. The dome was where it's at because that was like true tournament style.
I was gonna say I feel like yeah, because that was the first like generation to introduce the rematch mechanic. I forgot about that, and it was the first one to introduce bases too.
Yeah, oh my god, when you get was it hidden power or secret power and you could carve out like a base in
Yeah,
different areas of the map and decorate it and have all oh, that was cool.
I was like, I don't know why that was never like a main state, and that's why I was like, why is it that with Pokemon games, there's always kind of this um not gonna say the same, but I'm like when they introduce all that stuff into like this generation of games, I was like, this is amazing. Like this prolongs the game. It makes it where you want to replay it, and it makes you want to play it for longer. Like the rematch mechanic was genius.
Yeah, because it would be for past battles all over the map. Even like, oh, let me go over to Route 2, and this guy's got the level 40 Rattata. But it like I guess Emerald like it was structured in such a way it was more like more role play because you could do stuff like the Pokemon contest where you could like max out your Pokemon stats and have them compete in the pageant.
Oh yeah.
It's like, oh, it's kind of like a profession thing where like you can choose like do you want to just do the story, fight the gym leaders, progress to the Elite 4, or do you want to become like the beauty and toughness contest champion? Do you want to go Oh, I guess every game has gambling.
I was about to say that's like that is not unique to
But
Emerald.
yeah,
That
that's not
gambling has
unique
been an
to Emerald.
issue. Like that was like before microtransactions was a thing. You were spending all your money in the casino trying to go broke to get a Porygon.
Oh god. I don't think I ever got a Porygon that way. I don't know. I
I
can't say.
I think I did one time, but it took so freaking long.
It always felt so time consuming, but I guess that's a good thing in the
Yeah.
realm of RPGs. Like, hey, do you want to sink 20 hours into this one like pathway? Like, maybe on the next playthrough.
That makes me want to replay Emerald because I'm replaying Fire Red right now,
Ooh, yeah.
and like as you're talking, I'm like, dang, Emerald sounds way more enticing right now.
I think some of that stuff got put into Leaf Green and Fire Red because they came out after the Hoenn trilogy, right? I
I
shouldn't say trilogy. They're like side games.
I think so because they were remasters of the original.
Yeah.
Uh,
Part of me wishes that Fire Red and Leaf Green, I guess in the spirit of like Red and Blue, you only want 2 games. But then my first game was Yellow, so I'm like, oh, I wish if they did just one game in the spirit of Yellow, where you can catch, where you can like not catch, but like you start off with a Pikachu, you can earn the 3 starters, you have the potential to get Mewtwo. Like, oh,
There's some good nostalgia there I'm feeling.
2004.
I feel you,
and
dude.
the soundtrack for Hoenn too. Like I hear that shit, I'm just like, yeah, time to chill.
Yeah, Fire Red came out. It says that it was released. Fire Red and Leaf Green was released January 29, 2004. Ruby and Sapphire was released in 2002. And Pokemon Emerald was released in 2004 September.
Ooh.
So Fire Red and Leaf Green was released after Ruby and Sapphire, but Emerald came out after those.
Interesting. I didn't know they were that close together.
Yeah, neither did I.
Huh.
When
But
did
yeah,
when did Pokemon Crystal come out?
Crystal. I never did play Crystal.
I think
Like,
that
I
was
only
like
ever
my.
played Silver.
I think that was like my favorite
Dude.
one, like from
Dude,
back in the day.
Crystal is a highly expensive fucking retro game.
What you talking about, Willis?
That game sells for over $100.
Oh, I believe it.
Cartridge only, and I think, and I'm like, what
Hold on,
the fuck?
$249
I-
on Amazon.
The Game Boy Color one, dog?
Yeah, the like the glitter cartridge and everything. Bro, I remember that.
It had like the plastic was like see through.
Yeah,
Yes. See,
dude.
if it makes y'all feel any better, and y'all ever want to get a physical copy of the game, do not feel bad about buying reproductions. These niggas are not making these games anymore, dog. And
I mean,
people are
that's
making
true.
them. They're literally making them, and you don't even need to mod your consoles if you have one. You can literally just pop it in. It's like the factory never stopped.
The good times never stop rolling.
Yeah, so like if y'all ever feel like, yo, man, I want that crystal and I don't want it to cost a fucking arm and a leg. Let me look
True.
up these reproductions, yo.
Dude, when you said
Just
that,
get
it sounded
the
like you were like peddling drugs.
game.
Like if you ever want that crystal,
Yo, man, I'm trying to feel some of this crystal though.
bro, no.
This crystal mon.
Come on.
This crystal mon, man.
No, not like this.
You're on this crystal mon right now.
Pokemon
Just look up.
Silver.
Just look up a fucking reproduction, maybe Etsy. Check there.
That is crazy.
Or Alibaba.
I mean,
But I know a store in Alibaba that actually sells like high quality reproductions. So if y'all ever like are looking for a game maybe that they may have or similar store, just let me know.
under the table, of course.
Guys, listeners, viewers.
There is no
Wink, wink.
table.
There is.
Listen. Listeners, do not feel bad about doing things like this. If you casually game, maybe you want to buy old games again, like physical, and don't want to go through emulation. I know some people are like that. You might want to just have that OG feeling. Keep it simple. And you don't want to pay expensive prices for games that are obviously pretty old. Reproductions are a thing, and they're pretty damn good. I mean, some of them aren't, but I think it's pretty hard to get a bad reproduction. So if you have a Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, or whatever, you're like, yo, I want Super Mega Force or Space Mega Force on Super Nintendo. Dude, first of all, that name is fucking awesome.
Bro,
Space Mega Force? Dude, sign me the fuck up. I feel like a kid listening to that. I'm like, dude, let's fucking go. It's a Super Nintendo run and gun game, but not like not like Metal Slug. You're on a ship. You're on a spaceship. and you're just flying around destroying shit. And the fucking effects and the way the graphics look and the way the space battles look, I'm like, yo, this, and dude, the soundtrack, why is it so good? I haven't played the game myself, but I've looked into it. But yeah, like, you want to ever play a game like Space Megaforce or whatever, just look up a reproduction site if you don't want to pay, because that game is expensive. That game can go for over $300, $400, $500, $600, $700.
Bro.
Nobody's, come on, man. Like, some of us are like, yeah, it'd be nice to have the real thing, the original thing, and still have something valuable. But I mean, that's ridiculous, man.
It is.
I'm seeing some of these. There's one like complete edition for $1,400.
Ooh.
Yeah. Like, do you
Ooh.
see that box
It's
art
like
though?
mint.
Do you see that box art though?
Oh yeah.
That shit is clean, bro. Clean.
It's giving me a lot of
Ooh.
Transformers vibes. Yeah.
It's got some of that Gundam
Super old
vibe.
and mecha.
Game Boy Color Atomic Purple.
Yeah. Like,
Ooh.
that game. That,
Why must you tease me?
you want that game? You can get it. You can get it on fucking Etsy.com. And yeah, Super Nintendo boxes were glossy. These will be a matte finish. Maybe you'll like that more. Maybe. I got a Chrono Trigger reproduction, dude. It's like that shit's real. I didn't. The Super Nintendo isn't modded to play different stuff except to play different region locked games, because Super Nintendo was region locked. But I can pop in the Chrono Trigger reproduction cart and it works fine. So yeah, you ever want to get fucking Crystal, dude, and physical, because remember, those kinds of games too, like the Super Nintendos, they use batteries to save.
Yeah.
The batteries can go out and then you won't be able to save.
So I've been looking at games and I've gone down this rabbit hole and I can't pull myself out. Help me.
Uh-oh.
Get out, David.
I just
Get out. Pokemon Emerald is Jihad's game because that shit's baller, apparently.
Rampage World Tour. I remember that.
Dude,
Frogger.
our mutual friend,
Regress the movie, the game.
with a J, he showed me this obscure game called Heart of Darkness on PS1. Dude, that shit looks crazy. Like,
Heart of Darkness.
Really good, like on PS1. He said he
Wait a
played it
minute.
bootlegged in Mexico. I've never seen this
What
game
is this
before.
cover art? Oh my god.
Heart of Darkness?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, dude, that game is really cool. He showed me the game like on YouTube. And yeah, I want to play that. It's it's like a platformer type shit.
X-Men.
Yeah, these designs are
Wars?
wild.
I don't remember this game.
It's like a 3D platformer. Yeah, exactly. I don't remember this at all.
Well, that one, and I just found something called X-Men Mutant Wars for Game Boy Color.
Oh yeah.
I might have played that. Wait.
I don't remember this. This is a deep rabbit hole. I can't get out.
Yeah, Heart of Darkness is a French game, apparently. I did not know
French game? Bruh.
that. Yeah.
Dexter's
That's cool.
Laboratory.
Did I play this
Spyro.
Mutant Wars game? I
What
did.
game?
X-Men Mutant Wars.
X-Men.
I have played this. Yeah. Oh my god.
No,
What a nostalgia trip.
damn.
Mutant
I have to
Wars.
like dig through storage. I wonder if I have these games still.
Yo, by the way, if you want to play a game of around that era, X-Men Children of the Atom, Super Nintendo. Dude, you gotta play that shit. You get to play as Gambit too.
I feel like
Gambino?
I feel like I remember that.
Yeah, Children of the Atom on Super Nintendo.
Rampage,
Emulate that
Total
shit, dude. Or just look it up on YouTube. That
PlayStation
shit's like a
2.
beat. It's like a platformer type shit. It's fucking awesome.
You know what's
Children of
sad?
the Atom. What is?
As I'm like going down this rabbit hole, and it's very deep. As I'm going through this, I'm like looking at so many like different games. There was a literal Paperboy Game Boy Color game.
Yeah,
Like-
Paperboy is stupid.
But it's like
Just go around giving newspapers to people in the neighborhood. Like, fuck that. Like, get out of here. Stupid game. Silly game. Probably made. I refuse to believe it was made except as a joke.
but it's like
I can
there
appreciate
was
it
so
if
much
it was that.
there was so much like adventure. There was so much variety. There was so much
Oh, back then, yeah.
like
Oh my god, we come
willingness.
full circle.
No, I think we're coming back. I don't think. I mean, yeah. Remember,
It's
I
stuff
think
like the simulator games, like Farming Simulator, like games have come back to having us pretend we're doing real things.
yeah, and it's like, why?
Like Tony
That-
Hawk.
I think the indie scene kind of remedies that
Like
because the indie scene is pretty good in variety, like
Like
very
why-
good. Like it's pretty. Like I think we're simultaneously in the worst age of gaming and the best age of gaming because gaming right now is so decentralized, in a sense.
I mean,
Even though there's
maybe one and
DRM,
one.
it is pretty decentralized because of how much options you have.
There was a Rugrats Time Travelers game. I don't remember those.
Hey, what?
So I'm looking. So there's Rugrats the movie, the first one. Rugrats in Paris. I remember that game. Rugrats Go Wild. There was Rugrats Castle Capers and Rugrats Time Travelers. I don't remember the Time Travelers one.
I
Rocket
feel
Power.
like I've heard of Time Travelers.
Rocket Power. Dun, 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 dun. The Powerpuff Girls, Bad Mojo Jojo. I remember that.
Did not play.
Okay, we're getting off track.
Yeah.
We
uh,
did go on a tangent.
Hey
Ooh,
man, it's a
Shrek-
gaming episode. It's cool if we talk games.
Shrek
retro
Fairy
thing.
Tale Freakdown. Was that the wrestling one for Game Boy Color?
Shut your mouth. Dude, the fact that there's a fucking SmackDown game called SmackDown Shut Your Mouth is everything, dude.
Shrek Fairy Tale Freakdown.
Shut the SmackDown versus Raw. Shut the fuck up.
Dude, this is the game. I
As the-
remember.
Dude, I remember we were coming up with names. It was like SmackDown versus Raw. Fuck off. For game titles, like imagine those were the game titles. That'd be crazy.
I would buy every game like that. Jimmy Neutron had a game. There were quite a few Scooby Doo games too.
Yeah. I think most shows, or at least cartoons, tried to come out with a game at some
least a
point in
few.
the 2000s.
The 90s had a lot of licensed games. A lot of them. One of them are pretty a popular example, the Disney games on the Super Nintendo or Genesis or whatever.
Oh yeah, like Tarzan,
The Lion King.
Lion King.
Oh yeah, Lion King, Aladdin, Mickey's Magical
Yeah.
Adventure, Goof Troop.
Goof Troop.
Yeah, Goof Troop is a cool game. Goof Troop. What else? They had
Kim
fucking
Possible.
Beauty and the Beast. They
I remember
had
that one.
There was.
they had Beauty and the Beast. They had
Was there a Dalmatians game?
there was
Yes,
there was
there
one on
was.
Dreamcast as well, 102 Dalmatians.
I remember that. Gentlemen, do you remember
Yeah.
at one point in time we used to be able to watch full episodes on our Game Boy Advances and Game Boy Advances
Yes.
SPs?
Yeah.
Dragon Ball GT, SpongeBob.
I found one for Nickelodeon episodes. It's for Fairly Odd Parents, SpongeBob, and Rugrats all grown up.
You know what's crazy is that like wasn't that kind of released to compete with the PSP?
What you
It
talking
might
about?
have been out earlier. Like the TV shows and stuff on Game Boy Advance cartridge.
Man,
I
it
feel
feels like it was a response to PSP, but it was not the same at all.
You talking about the Game Boy SP?
No, like the Game Boy Advance
Like I
cartoon
had 2
shows
episodes
and
of Pokemon.
yeah, like episodes of shows. I think were like a
Mm,
response to the PSP having movies.
no, I feel like that
I think
came out
Game Boy might have came.
Yeah, I feel like the Game Boy came out first, and then PSP followed. Because
No,
PSP
it did.
had
No, it did. No, it did.
because PSP had more than that. They had movies too. I think
No,
with
Yeah,
the
they
Game
got Hellboy
Boy,
on PSP.
yeah,
no. But I'm not saying that the Game Boy released after. I'm saying that yeah, the PSP did release after, but it already had movies, and Game Boy Advance didn't have shows on cartridges yet.
because I remember specifically because you could watch music videos on your PSP, and there was this one movie I had called House of the Flying Daggers. It was like this
Oh,
Asian
yeah.
movie. You remember that?
Yep.
I
Is
used
that a
to.
kung fu movie?
Yeah, it was like a kung fu movie. Also, it reminded me of. I don't even know what I could equate it to, but it was like so. It was like one of those like, okay, this is one of those kung fu movies from back then. Like you knew what was up.
Yeah.
7.5 on
The
IMDb.
questionable dubbing.
I
When
rem-
did that stop? Where like the dub would be so different that the actor's mouth would keep moving while you heard the audio. I feel like that just stopped out of nowhere.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't remember. Age restricted. What?
Hold on, I will be right back, guys.
I bet. Why is this age restricted? Oh yeah, there was. Oh yeah, there was that in that movie. I forgot. And that was on PSP.
I miss PSP. PSP deserves more. It was way too good of a system.
I feel like PSP was like the height of like the mobile gaming experience.
You could do anything on it. It had Skype. It had a web browser.
Oh yeah,
It had
did have
a
Skype.
YouTube app.
Dude, I forgot about that. You could do anything on that thing.
You could hot swap your memory and just change out your memory cards at will. The loading was pretty fast too for like a small device from the early 2000s.
It is true. I forgot about that.
It had the music. It had everything. It was. Part of me feels like it was like a gaming competitor to the. What was it? The iPod Touch.
Yeah.
Because I feel like in like the mid 2000s, everybody had one of those instead of an iPhone or instead of an actual phone. It was like you get an iPod Touch, and then you throw like a phone app on it. So whenever you have Wi-Fi, you essentially have like a baby iPhone.
Totally forgot about that. Dude, it's like the further I go, the more it's like,
The deeper the rabbit hole goes.
yeah, because I just clicked on Yu-Gi-Oh! World Championship Tournament for the Game Boy Advance, and I see the collection box with the Egyptian god cards on it. And I remember back when when those episodes were hot, everybody wanted those things. I think I had one of them. I think I had the obelisk. I think.
Ooh, I just saw they're releasing a Winged Dragon of Ra model kit.
Ooh.
I don't need it, but it looks good. It's all gold.
Ooh. They even renew the SP consoles. That's kind of cool.
Do you remember that really tiny Game Boy Advance that was like the size of a credit card?
Size of a credit card?
Like it was barely bigger than the cartridge. It was like a super small Game Boy Advance. Like a Game Boy Advance Mini?
I don't think so. Hold on. Game Boy. Oh wait.
Or Micro?
Advance. It
Game
was
Boy
called Mini.
Micro. Yeah, it was super small. It was like the size of a credit card. It was
What
super
is that?
small.
Why did they make that?
Super tiny gaming, I guess.
That is so tiny. What were they thinking?
I still think the SP was the perfect design because it had the flip. The speaker was perfect, like loudness. It
That was-
was robust enough that you could throw it around and not break it.
I was gonna say, I feel like that was kind of the right direction for them because did it also have like a you could get the attachment with the light on it?
Yep. I think some of the later models had different screen brightness.
Yeah, you could change the brightness. Dude, this is so. I'm not gonna lie, we really had it good back then.
Yeah. There's
Like,
even some fun products.
and I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, every single one was a banger. There were definitely consoles that were not that good, but they definitely released a lot of them. Like, what the most recent console that was released that's kind of like newish is the Steam Deck. Like, one that wasn't released by freaking Sony or Nintendo. And I mean,
I do like the Steam Deck, but
I've
it
heard
does
good
kind of
things.
feel like a. It just kind of feels like a Switch, but PC.
I mean, which is fine. Oh yeah, there was a Teen Titans game for the Game Boy Advance.
There's one for GameCube.
They had a lot of Spyro games for the Game Boy Advance too, for some reason. Earthworm Jim, Samurai Jack.
I'll be back. Back to the past, Samurai Jack.
Sonic Battle? I think I remember this. Sonic X. I've been rewatching that on Netflix.
Sonic X.
Yes.
Is that the one that's like, gotta go fast?
Yes.
Sonic.
I was like, I forgot how good this show was. How unironically good. Sonic Heroes, I remember that for PlayStation 2.
I love Sonic Heroes.
That game was good. Let's see. What else? Dang, it has so many, like, again, it's like they were so willing to just make games.
Yeah. Anything gets getting a game. Sweet Life is Zack and Cody games. That's the Raven games.
I literally just passed the Zack and Cody game. As I'm like scrolling through this.
And then all the games that were on PC only, on like CartoonNetwork.com or DisneyChannel.com, where like each show had multiple games just for the show that were only on the website. Or maybe somebody like ripped the game and threw it on a different website. I miss playing Dexter's Labyrinth. That maze game where you just play as like tiny pixelated Dexter, and you have to like collect bits and scrap.
Dude, I remember that.
Oh, I love that game.
That game was cool. They had an iCarly game for Nintendo DS, but why? Houseway. Ultimate Spider-Man.
Ultimate Spider-Man was a great game.
That was my favorite. Like, the fact that you could play, like, full Venom.
Yes.
Was so cool. Like, oh my god. That game. Oh. Yeah, that's right. They had it for GameCube. And they had it for Game Boy Advance. But the Game Boy Advance one was side-scrolling. But I definitely like the GameCube one better.
I played the Game Boy Advance one.
The GameCube one was like...
It was straight up like the comic book, like Ultimate Spider-Man, the comic.
Yeah. Like the style, the art style and everything. It was so good.
I'm surprised we got a game based on an alternate like timeline for the comics. It'd be like getting like an Old Man Logan game.
Ooh. Ooh, what was that? Dang, what was that Wolverine game from PlayStation 2? What was it called? Dang.
Wolverine's Revenge?
Yeah.
Yep.
That
I
game
got it
was
on
so cool.
GameCube.
Oh, that game was so good.
That was a good game. I wanted to get, because I played Origins on PSP, but it's a different game on console.
Really?
Yeah, like it plays different on PS3 and 360. And I was like, I gotta get a copy on that
Wolverine Origins.
so I can see how different it is from the PSP version.
Let's see. Yeah.
I remember one of the things in the console version was that Wolverine would like take damage, and you could watch him take damage and heal in real time.
Yeah. This
For
one.
such a questionable movie, it was a really good game.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think the game was way more outstanding. I think this is one of those rare cases where the video game did better or was better than the movie it was based off of.
Because I feel like around the same time we got that Deadpool game. I never played. I
Deadpool?
need to. Yeah, the Deadpool game came out.
Yes.
But it was like comic accurate. He's like making jokes with Cable and messing with Wolverine.
Oh, I don't remember this. Yeah, there was a Teen Titans PlayStation 2 game. I remember that one. There was a Fantastic Four one too.
I think I played the Fantastic Four game based on the first movie.
Yeah. I can't remember if I liked it or not. I think I did. Hold on.
It was alright.
Fantastic Four PS.
I remember it being co-op. Like you could play as two different members at the same time,
Oh yeah.
and you had like team attacks or like team like things to do to like change up the environment. Like when they stop the fire truck from falling, I think you play as Ben and Johnny, and you have to like work together, player 1 and 2, to save the fire truck.
I remember that. It was actually a pretty good game. Evil PS2 games. Now that's a game. Yeah. Now this is my favorite one.
What game?
Yeah. Resident Evil Outbreak.
Outbreak.
You know what we need to do? We need to do a playthrough of that.
Outbreak?
Yes. It has to happen.
All right, I am back.
There he is.
I guess it's my turn.
I mean, sure, we just been talking games. I mean, we're
Yeah.
well over the time, but go ahead.
Whatever. I guess. One of my most replayed games. Which one would be fun to talk about? Damn, man, that's a tough question.
I mean, it's just one random one.
I know, but still, like, so many of them are good. So, let me look through my library real quick. Let's see. I'm just
Ben
skimming
10,
through.
Protector of Earth. I remember that one.
Fucking skimming through.
Dude, there was a Kids Next Door game for the PlayStation 2. I don't remember this.
Yeah, there was.
Was it
Were there
good?
2 or 3 Bill and Mandy games?
Probably.
Was there? Hold on. Grim Adventures of... There was a PS2 game. Oh, looks like there were multiple. Houseway.
It was a great show.
It was.
Mm, I'd probably say I want to go with a more recent game. Damn, it's a toss-up between Blasphemous or Signalist.
Teenage Mutant Ninja
They're both so good.
Turtles. Turtle Power.
Yeah.
I'll probably choose Signalist.
Okay.
Sci-fi survival horror game. Retro inspired, so like PS1 graphics inspired. But obviously it can do a little more that the PS1 couldn't. It's obvious, even though it's inspired. I beat the game like 4 fucking times, like back to back. Because well, the first time I beat it, but I didn't know there were multiple endings, and I was like, wait, what? Like there's like
a good way to get some replays.
Yeah, there was like 3, I think, endings, but what I did, like 3 endings, but what I ended up doing is, I think, getting 2 more, because I think the second time I might have messed up and not have gotten it, and then it was like, all right, well, gotta replay it again. It's like, oh, well, gotta replay it again. So the soundtrack is fantastic. Very Silent Hill inspired as well. Actually, it has cool camera angles, kind of like the Resident Evils. But the thing is, it's honestly a little more Metal Gear than Resident Evil because it's more top down. It's a bit more top down, but it's still kind of like tracks, the camera tracks. Again, there are different kinds of camera angles depending on the areas that you do go to. Sometimes they'll kind of look isometric because the level design is diagonal, or like follows that theme, that diagonal motif, like old games. There isn't any spoken dialogue. I can't spoil an aspect about it because, like, this game is in a particular category that I can't even name because it's tied to a spoiler. So it's like, you know what? Never mind. I can't say it. But there's a lot of puzzle solving in the game, like Resident Evil. You play as a chick, like an android chick. It's like in the 2200s, 2300s, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And humanity's already colonized into space. But it's like so, like the world is not like it used to be at all. And that's what's so interesting about it. And that's why I like it too, because so many people just they fall back on, they use our world as a crutch to tell the future world, and it's like, why can't it just be something completely different? You know, that's a possibility, even though it's not one we like to think about. So like in the world in Signalist, it's kind of like, it seems like the Chinese are out there, man. They're over there space colonizing. But the thing is, like, it seems like the characters, damn, there's so many spoilers in this game. It's so hard to talk about the game. Just know that you are like an android chick, seems like. You can, even the feet, they have no feet. Their feet is like poles to the ground.
Wait,
They don't have-
really?
Yeah,
What?
Huh.
but square. You know, square. Go look up the Signalist characters, and you'll see the feet. They look like kind of like Metal Gear Ray's feet, like those kinds.
Ew.
But more square.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
it's interesting design. Oh, and it's anime influence, so the graphics don't look realistic at all. It looks like an anime. It's pretty fucking cool.
That's a plus.
Yeah, they multiple weapons, firearms. There's plenty of nightmare fuel in there, kind of.
My favorite.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the story is really fucking good. Like, holy shit, it's better than most survival horror game stories, honestly. Very Evangelion influenced. Neon Genesis.
$100
Ooh.
for PS2.
You still need to finish that.
This is disgusting.
Yeah, I still need to finish that, but it is clearly the iconography of Evangelion is everywhere. You can't get away from it if you follow anime. And I've seen that, and yeah, it's clearly heavily influenced by it.
This is disgusting.
So yeah, it seems like there's like 2 to 3 not organizations, but like nations in space, and they're kind of in a way competing against each other in a sense, especially when it comes to like their economic infrastructure and shit like that out there, and how they're colonizing, and like the world building is insane. Like it's very good, and it's so cool because obviously it uses the notes and and diaries and everything like Resident Evil and Silent Hill did. You know, it does all of that. That's how it tells its story primarily, and its cutscenes. The cutscenes are really good, but this game is so surreal. There's a lot of thinking behind this game. You got to think a lot with this one because it's pretty mind bending, honestly.
Okay.
It's
Pretty sure I have it on my list.
Yeah, it's really good. Like if you need a new survival horror game to play that is not a remake,
It's not a remake.
then play Signalist, because Signalist is really good. And I played it, I think, on hard as well. I think I did beat it. So yeah, I got like you need to get like there's like 4 endings actually. So I got one ending, and then I got it again, and then I got the other one, and getting a certain one unlocks the true ending.
So I'm looking at hold on. No, go ahead.
Yeah, so there's a lot of work that is put into doing that, but the thing is, it's like it's kind of crazy how people figured out how to do it, because if you look up how to get the endings or whatever, sometimes like you'll find out some crazy shit that, like, how the fuck would you have known that? Like that kind of shit. Like that's crazy. The game is so cryptic, it's crazy. It's really awesome though, because it's a really great game to think about because of its story, because of how it's presented, and a lot of its story is visually based.
Okay.
Very surreal game. I like the mods. Like there's an over-the-shoulder mod, which is pretty cool, but
That sounds fun.
yeah, it is. It's pretty cool because it could change the dynamic of the game. You can only see forward now. And the game's pretty dark. And not just when it comes to the visuals. The story is very dark. Like, that is a dark story.
I hear survival horror Evangelion, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
this is the worst humanity has to offer.
Yeah, it is.
No.
It is pretty, like, I'll say this. I thought Dead Space was like the pinnacle of survival horror when it came to like its storytelling at the time anyway. I was like, this shit's better than Resident Evil. Genuinely. And I was like, these games are better. And how do you say? Fuck, I lost my train of thought.
Better story than Resident Evil.
Yeah, better story than Resident Evil, but yeah, this game I think is probably better than Dead Space. Better. I'm not saying there aren't other games that are on Dead Space level or whatever, because there's Dead Space 1, 2, and 3, and I don't care what anyone says, Dead Space 3 is fucking good.
I like the co-op, but not like
I like how they
side by side.
implemented it.
Yeah, where like they would go to different areas and you would just be on comms like, what the hell's going on? Respond! Respond!
Yeah, like I like how
I never played it co-op, so I don't know. I
don't, not me neither, but
help me, please. That's the only thing
Oh
I
my
hear. That's all I
Outbreak.
want. That's all I want to hear on the radio. Help me, help me, please. That's the only way you can signal for help. If you don't say it that way, I'm not coming.
But yeah, just going back to Signals, great. I never hated replaying that game. Fucking fantastic. It's so cool that the UI, like your menu, like when you see your health and your weapons and shit, it looks like it's on a fucking CRT TV. Like it has the effect as if like it's popping out at you, the screen.
Cool.
Like the round that round effect. And then it has kind of like that staticky look. Like it looks really good, like legit. Like the retro influence is strong with this one.
So, funny story. I've never looked at this game before, so I didn't know what the characters look like. So I'm looking at it now. When I was looking for games that I replay a bit, I was looking at White Noise 2 because I was like, how many people are playing this game right now? Like tryhards and sweaties. White Noise 2 is a great game, by the way.
Yeah.
But it's been overshadowed by newer games like Friday the 13th and so on and so forth. But someone created a fan art with this character, like the main character of Signalis in it. And I was like, who is this? And I was like, this.
Now you know?
Well, yeah. I was like, why is this in there? Because, people, the funny thing is with Steam, people will like just do things and draw things and make fan art of stuff. And you're like, what is this supposed to mean? And then you're like, oh, makes you think a little bit.
You know what's weird is that I'm pretty sure some people only use Steam Community as their social media. I wouldn't be surprised.
Perhaps. I mean,
which is really weird, but
I mean that's not the worst thing. I mean, at least the people that you talk to, you can play games with. You can't really do much socializing on Instagram. Like, what are you gonna do with those people?
Yo, dude, want to play games, dog? No, fuck.
Like, hey, man, I need help. Help me, please.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Dude.
Log on quick. I need it.
Yo, they need to make a Resident Evil Outbreak comeback, man. Word at.
They need to remake that game. That game was so fun.
Dude, fix camera angles and you can walk and aim before Resident Evil 6, dog.
Well, the funny thing wasn't Outbreak the only game where you were literally infected? Like, that was the mechanic?
Yeah, you could become infected.
Well, no, you were infected. You had to, like, get the cure or something.
Yeah.
Like, you had to, like, there was an actual clock.
Yeah, there was a clock in the story, technically.
Which I thought was pretty cool. But then I was like, damn.
That game was, thinking back on it, I didn't beat that game at all. That game was fantastic.
I don't know why they haven't remade it though. Like, it's such.
Nah, man.
Here's the thing, people. Why is it that we are not getting remakes, remasters for games that have broken the mold? Like, why?
Yeah, I know, right?
Houseway.
Remake fucking Legacy of Kain, dog.
Bruh, do it. I would pay all my money for that.
That's the sequel, is it not?
Legacy of Kain.
Yeah, the second one. That's the second one, right?
There's.
Blood Omen 2, Legacy of Kain.
Is it? No. Blood Omen 2 is the last one, right?
Oh. I think it was Legacy of Kain, Blood Omen.
Because I just remember in Blood Omen, Kain looks completely different.
Yeah, like, and I played that original one from PlayStation 1, but it's on GOG. Like, it's so weird because by all accounts, it's kind of like a sluggish game in a sense. But at the same time, it doesn't feel that way. It's like it feels natural because of how the game is designed. Kind of like a Dark Souls game.
Crystal Dynamics.
Yeah, so I played that shit. It's really good. I like it. I like the art style. I like the vibe. I like the story. I'm gonna restart it at some point though. I didn't beat it, but I really like the game.
Legacy of Kain Defiance is such a thrill ride.
Damn, there was so much imagination back then. Holy shit.
I know, right? We're all brain dead now.
Yeah,
Okay.
Big sad.
big sad.
So I think that is a good point or a good stopping point, because I will continue down this rabbit hole of like nostalgia games, and my library will increase significantly. But I am not paying $500 for
Yeah,
Predator Concrete Jungle for PlayStation 2. I am not doing that.
just like if you want to get that game and play it without having to spend, I mean, try to find a
Cartoon Network Racing?
yeah, try to find a fucking smaller priced copy, or just get a PS2 and mod it, man.
They had a Code Lyoko game?
Yes, they did. It's on Game Boy Advance, I think, as well.
I'm looking, there's one for PlayStation 2. I think I did play this. I mean, it looked very close to the show, because that's how the PlayStation 2 graphics looked. 50 Cent Bulletproof, bruh.
Oh yeah, that's the game.
50 Cent Bulletproof. Like, I don't know why that game ever needed to exist.
Okay.
Or the sequel.
That junk is hilarious. Okay.
Shit is funny, though. Eminem's in that game. I know that.
Wait, he is?
Eminem, Dre, Snoop.
What
Forget
the?
who else. See, man, that was a different era. Like, come on, man. Like, you're not getting that right now. Where's the game with Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole? You don't see it. You know why? Because they're not fucking them. That's why.
It ain't gonna happen, son. It ain't gonna happen.
Even though, like, they're better than some of them, like, it doesn't matter. Like, it's just a different time.
Ooh.
Dude, there's a copy of Def Jam Fight for New York, like, graded. No, brand new, sealed. Someone wants $15,000 for it.
No shot.
No,
And I'm like, no way! Please don't pay this man that, bruh. Don't do it. Don't fucking do that, dude. Y'all will. Do not do that to Def Jam, man. It's bad enough that it's so expensive to get it, man. I would do it. I would not do that right now, as would be a stupid thing to do.
That is a lot.
And I would only get that as a collector's item, honestly. Like, I can't, and sell it off at some point with the intention to sell it.
If I'm paying $1,500 for that, I'm selling that for $10,000.
No. That shit isn't $1,500. $15,000, dude.
Are you
On eBay, and I was like, hell.
Sealed.
Factory sealed. Fight for New York. PS2. Black label.
Bro, no.
And I found out why Greatest Hits isn't like rated higher. Like, I get it
Like a million.
because it's not the original pressing. I get it, but
Yeah.
it's like, yo, this is like a badge of honor, though. Like, isn't this worth something in a way? And it's like, oh, the thing is that it's not just, of course, because it's not the original pressing of the game. Like, you know, Black Label, baby, come on. And because the games would have manuals not that weren't in color.
Scooby-Doo Classic Creep Capers.
Black Label had colored manuals. Greatest Hits didn't. That's why too.
Interesting.
So it's like, okay, but still, you know.
Tom and Jerry for the Game Boy.
Tom and Jerry, the fighting game, was fun. It would probably suck now if I played it, but it was fun from what I remember.
Bruh.
You could be like me and the legendary Super Warriors.
Jesus. Oh my god, I would never forget that shit, dude. Like, you were having a rough time with that game.
Got rough real quick. All right.
Yeah, for real.
Okay, so we are approaching our 2-hour mark, unfortunately. So I think we have exhausted our nostalgia and our brains and
Yes.
a lot of video game talk. This was a good episode, though. Now we're going to talk about the topic for the next episode. And this one I had to put on a wheel. So I put on a wheel. Now I had, earlier I was like, we should do fanfic. I'm not doing that. We will do that for an episode. That is going to be absolutely hilarious. Because I have one story that is probably the bottom of the barrel that if I made you guys read it, you would hate me.
Bruh.
But we're not going to do that. So for this one, the media, because I did it off of what we haven't done yet. So I had podcasts, books, podcasts, like other podcasts we may listen to. Manga, we haven't done that yet. Some other stuff too. But it spun the wheel and we landed on books. So next episode, we are going to choose a book or a book series, and we're going to give a book report. Not necessarily to that depth, but like, here's the book. This is why I like it. This is why you should read it, type of deal. So you don't have to get into like specifics, but like be able to talk about it like to a point of, this book is called Cirque of the Freak. It is a great book. You should read it because of this, and that. Is better than Twilight. Good. We're done.
I agree with all of those points.
Exactly. Instant Cop. Actually,
Also watch the movie.
Bruh.
I forgot about the movie.
No, do
Yeah, John
not.
C. Reilly.
Nigga, do not subject yourself to watching fucking Twilight. Shit's trash.
Not Twilight.
Like Twilight, Cirque du Freak.
Oh,
as a
Cirque du
movie.
Freak. My fault.
by
Never
Darren
mind.
Shan.
Oh, never mind.
My man
fault.
was in attack mode.
Twilight. Fuck that. Like,
Yeah, no, it is terrible. You can get the whole 12-book collection for $44. That's not bad.
It's really good, actually. Wait a minute.
That is very
Cirque du
good.
Freak.
And you can get the manga too.
Why is there a Cirque du Freak manga?
Because it's cool.
Because, yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
because
Actually,
of art.
Because why not, right? Like,
Oh,
okay,
I was
cool.
about to say, if more series did that, that would be so cool. Like, just imagine if, like, Harry Potter had, like, a manga.
Well,
It could technically be Mashal.
so long as they don't.
Mashup.
Yeah,
I would probably take Mashal over a over a manga version of Harry Potter.
Not gonna lie, do not portray them as the retcon versions that J.K. Rowling said. Like, no, leave Dumbledore alone. I don't give a fuck what she says.
Dumbledore.
Leave Hermione alone, and just tell an anime Harry Potter like Naruto. Just do it, bro. Just do it. Just do it.
the large collection of Edgar Allan Poe poems. Ooh, that's tempting.
Lord Voldemort Kun.
Lord Voldemort Kun.
No. No.
Yeah, you already know what's gonna happen, dog.
No.
Potakun. Potakun.
No, stop! Oh God!
This is
Draco senpai.
no.
Draco senpai.
This sounds like a fanfic in the making.
For real.
No.
Fucking
Maybe that's
what's
what.
his face?
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Ojicha Hagrid or what? Ojicha Dumbledore, like
No.
old man Dumbledore.
This is getting worse the further we go.
Dude, that'd be fucking hilarious. SpongeBob in Japanese is hilarious. So
Yes,
whatever.
I've seen it. Okay, but I think that will do it. So yeah, book, and from Venom's the rabbit hole that he's just dug for us. I just came up with a good
my
idea.
fault.
I just came up with a good idea for the second part of our next video. Prepare yourselves.
What the fuck?
Brace yourself. Brace yourself. Brace yourself, fool.
Oh my god.
But other than that, unless you guys have something else you want to add as we close out.
Nope. That will be it.
No, not really.
Yeah, I was about to say, I feel like we just went down the nostalgia rabbit hole for like an hour, but that's okay. The podcast is more to be laid back and just be ourselves. And hopefully you guys like us, because if you don't, then you wouldn't listen. So
Yeah, for real, no cap on God, that song, gang. You know I didn't mean that for real. Like,
Time to stop.
yeah, I kind of threw
you
it in
know
my
I'm
mouth a
fucking
little
I'm
bit.
trolling, like, for no cap on God. That's come on, man.
I'm about to end the
trolling, that's
podcast
all.
right now.
Then just trolling. That's all.
Bruh. But other than that, listeners, thank you. If you are listening to this on YouTube, make sure to like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. If you're listening to this on a podcast platform, make sure to follow us, tell your friends, share us, do all the good stuff. And if you are on YouTube, maybe recommend some topics for us. We'll listen, we'll take into consideration, and we'll see what we do. But other than that, listeners, have a wonderful day. If it is at night, go to bed. And peace out.
Peace.
Peace.